One thing I really missed from my time in corporate sales is when the new rep they hired was a former director from one of our competitors. Shout out to Why Are You Here? We knew they were a director right away because it was the very first thing they said to us when they introduced themselves. And any other time they spoke in a meeting or any context, they found a way to mention the fact they used to be a director. Shout out to being insufferable. They came up to introduce themselves at my desk. It was before our team meeting. We were all kind of complaining because quota was up like 30% for that period. And they chimed in. They're like, "Oh, what's the number?" And we told them, and remember, this is their first day. And they started laughing kind of condescendingly. And they're like, "Oh, that's it? I thought it'd be so much higher. That should be really easy. We should all really blow that out of the water." And we all just kind of looked at each other like, wow, we're really going to hate this person. Anyways, we go into the team meeting. The boss has a big, disgusting introduction prepared for this person. Shout out to Demons introducing each other. And then, they speak for a while about their background on top of that. And it went on for so long. And I was like, oh my God, another person who loves to hear themselves talk. And not only did they talk a lot in this moment, when other people talked, they would like recap it like they were still in director mode. And they interrupted people a bunch of times. They corrected someone. We had a new contract. It was about nonprofit organizations, only they could use it. A teammate of mine chimed in and was like, "Hey, fun fact, I heard on a podcast, the NFL until fairly recently actually used to be a nonprofit." And then they were like, "No, that's not true. It actually used to be Major League Baseball." This disgusted me. This woke me out of my slumber because they had corrected people like 4 times already. And my coworker was right. They were wrong. So I took out my phone and looked up the fact that until I think 2015, the NFL used to be classified as a 501c6. Shout out to corruption. And then I kind of stared at them. They stared back at me. And then we left the meeting and we went to lunch minus this new demon. And one of my coworkers was like, "Do you really think that person used to be a director? I'm not buying it." I was like, "Oh, I totally believe it." I was like, they love to hear themselves talk and they're incompetent. Sounds like middle management to me. Shout out to George. This person lasted 9 months. They never hit quota once, not even close. They didn't know how to do anything. Like their level of incompetence was staggering. That's why I knew they used to be a director somewhere else. My favorite memory of them towards the end, they were trying to do their mileage, which we would all do at the end of the quarter. There was this template that we could use that someone had made. It was like with a spreadsheet and Google Maps, and they're at their desk, and I can hear them groaning because it's not working for them, and they're like banging the mouse. And finally, because there's so much noise, I walk over. I was like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And they're like, "I can't get it to work." And I see that they're using MapQuest.